Hello, and welcome to the BMC Quick Course Series. My name is Frank Rhodes, and I'm the Db2 Solutions Architect over the Database Administrative Products. In this session, we're going to be configuring a Jenkins pipeline so that it can run SQL assurance for Db2. I will start by opening up the sample folder that we defined to Jenkins in an earlier course. After I open up the sample pipeline, I will then click the Configure link on the left side of the browser window. The first thing that we need to do is set up defaults for the pipeline. You do not need to define defaults, but by doing so, you do not have to supply all of the prompted information every time you run the pipeline. I will start by entering the host IP address and port number. Next, I enter my TSO ID and password. Please note that the password is never displayed and is always stored in an encrypted format. I enter the properties file that we set up in an earlier course. I also default the Db2 subsystem that I will be running against. The last items I default are the email addresses that will be notified on successful completion of the pipeline or if the pipeline encounters failures. We can now jump down to the actual pipeline script. You can scroll down or hit the pipeline link near the top center of the browser window. The sample script has defined all of the calls to the SQL Assurance plugin modules. It also has some stub stages defined to emulate other operations you might perform when using SQL Assurance. I will provide some explanation on how we coded the calls to the SQL Assurance plugin modules. First, we will need to scroll down to the first call of a plugin module. Here's a sample call to the authentication module. You do not need to code this call on your own. If you hit the pipeline syntax link, it will take you into a Jenkins dialog that will help you build the needed syntax for this call. The first thing we do is tell Jenkins what plugin module we want to build syntax for. Under sample step, we will select the BMC AMI DevOps Common Authentication step. The dialog has now changed to prompt for the information needed by the authentication plugin step. Pretty much everything is being passed in via string parameters, so we reference the names of those parameters for the fields in the plugin step. For the mainframe, we specify host underscore IP. For the port is host underscore port. The TSO mainframe ID is TSO underscore ID. And we go ahead and select that we will provide the password via a build parameter. And we supply the password for the mainframe password, which is TSO underscore password. Lastly, we specify the variable for the properties file, plugin underscore file. Now we scroll down and hit the generate pipeline script. I'm going to show what was generated versus what was in the sample pipeline script, but I'm going to use Word so more information is available on the screen. As you can see, the actual call to the plugin step is identical. What I want to point out is that in the sample that we've provided, we've added the needed parameter statements to pass in prompted parameters to the actual plugin module. The next plugin module we call is Analyze Dynamic SQL. Because of the embedded JCL streams, the call for this plugin module takes a few screens. For the dynamic SQL call, the only parm being passed in is the subsystem ID. Here you can see what I specified in the script generator to build the syntax. Here's the generated syntax that could be copied back to the pipeline. Here's the call for the static SQL analysis. This is using the same settings that were defined in the dev static project we did earlier. We will analyze the package that was shipped by BMC so that we can get expected violation results. Near the bottom of the pipeline, we have a couple of routines in place to handle a successful run and an exception if it was encountered. You can see the routine that sends an email to the address supplied if an exception was encountered. We have saved away our configuration. In the next quick courses, we will run the pipeline and take a look at the results that were emailed and how the violations that were generated look from the command center. Thank you for watching this course. For more information on any of the BMC mainframe products, please visit the URL shown here.